I think the return of Honda to Formula One is an exciting prospect, not just for McLaren, but for all of the fans. It's terrific when somebody new enters the sport, and we have a lot to look forward to. Well, obviously, start of 2015 and the introduction of Honda is a fantastic opportunity to address a number of things in the team. It's a huge amount of work. We'll continue the evolution of performance improvement from last year that we saw in 2014 and add Honda to the mix. It's a really exciting opportunity for us. I think many will associate Honda and McLaren with the success of the 1980s. Honda, of course, have been involved in Formula One since then, and we've had a very strong performance over many years. But at this point, we bring Honda's huge R&D know-how and racing ambition to join that of McLaren's as we push forward to the front of the grid. Under the current technical and sporting regulations, with the new power units that contain a tremendous amount of torque from the battery systems as well as the V6 engine, being able to manage that and give the driver controllable delivery of power is quite a critical factor for these cars. So all of the teams, and ourselves included, will be trying to make sure that the car is very drivable. So our aerodynamics, our power delivery, our management of the electronic system, which is complex, all has to be tuned into a sweet spot. And two world-class world champion drivers is a great place to start with that. Both McLaren and Honda have huge ambitions for their Formula One program. Honda haven't returned with anything other than ambitions to be at the front and to win races and championships, and that's why we make such good partners. But we have to be realistic about the process of getting to that. Honda have had half the amount of time to develop this engine that the other engine manufacturers have had, and we McLaren Racing are on a recovery of our on-track performance as well. So our first priority is to get this ambitious technical program stabilised and then to push on into the season and push for race wins. It's difficult to be very sure about how to answer the question of what are your predictions for 2015. There are a number of established competitors at the front of the grid who I expect will continue to be very strong starting in 2015. But we expect to be in that mix during the season, racing at the front. Working with Honda has been actually pretty straightforward, easier than I think we thought that it was going to be at arm's length. It's been a long time since we've worked closely together, but over the last 2 years we've formed some really interesting programs and projects together and some real friendships in that relationship, and we truly are one team. Working at the front, Formula One is a demanding business and a demanding sport. Any fragility in reliability, any faint-heartedness in the drivers, any lack of competitiveness in the chassis team, and you're exposed in front of millions of people. So it's a very tough sport, but we have what it takes and we know what it takes to be able to win championships in this season, and that's what we're going to start working with Honda on. So I'm confident that we can get back to the front. I'm confident that we have everything that we need to get the job done. Yeah, I think we're all excited about the driver lineup for 2015. Two world champions in the car, two demanding guys, very different drivers, slightly different driving styles, is a tantalising prospect. And there's been much media speculation about Fernando and his relationship with us last time. But I think we can confidently put that to one side and say we're just here to get the job done. And I'm confident that with both those drivers, when we bring the car in, we'll know that we've left nothing on the circuit. They both push really hard. Kevin's obviously disappointed not to get the race drive, but then I guess if he looks in the mirror and shaves in the morning, he'll know that he's been ousted by two world champions. That's a reality. He has to deal with that. But he is a terrific young prospect in Formula One. I'm confident he will be back in Formula One. This year he will be a reserve driver for us and help very much behind the scenes with our simulator and car development program. So he has an important contribution to make, but I understand he wants to be in the front. I think modest aims for the first test, which is just to shake down the technology, make sure that both drivers are comfortable in the car and all the systems work properly. We've got a huge amount of new technology on this car. We have a new ERS pack with lithium-ion battery technology, new power electronics, an all-new V6 engine, a new aerodynamic platform, two drivers, all new hydraulics, gearbox. So there's a lot to shake out. I think to all the partners, whether they're technology partners or just part of the McLaren family, is thank you for your continued support. We understand that this is a sport that is about winning, and that's our joint aim, and together I'm confident we can do that. If I were name checking some of the partners who've been working incredibly hard over the last 12 months with us, I think I would put into that mix ExxonMobil for sure. The work that they're doing on the fuels and lubes program behind the scenes is just relentless, and we've had to do it with both Mercedes and now with Honda, so thank you very much to them. SAP pushing hard with our business software and trying to move us on in the world of analytics is an important part of what I hope will be a very ambitious program in 2015. And many others beside Honda, of course, working tirelessly in Japan.
Okay.
In terms of 2015, then our ambitions are that we continue the momentum on chassis development that we showed during 2014. We've still got some way to go to get ourselves back to the front of the grid there. And certainly we need to stabilise the very complex technology that we've developed with Honda in the first half of the season. I think once we've got the platform there running and reliable, we can then look to see where we're at relative to the rest of the grid and start to really accelerate at that point.